Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. "161 years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, unity, and academic excellence."
I believe that if you get your degree here, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1:15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Welcome into the Nick Layfield on a brisk Saturday afternoon for some NCBA Division III action. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Remington Gilniak, joined alongside my partner Michael Hale. And Mike, as we head into Game 2 today, a game, well, if you look back at the first game, the Bulldogs came out on top. It was a tightly contested contest literally throughout the entire game. Tying run was on third base. You can start to see why this Bulldog team comes in ranked second at the country at this level.
Yeah, we saw it in the first game, just their composure throughout and in the tough situations. A lot of tough situations early in the game. The starting pitcher last game, Tyler Clement, did a great job getting his way out of them. And then late in the game, with some squeeze situations, did a great job there handling themselves as well.
Yeah, these teams are still warming up on the field, waiting for Game 2 to start. We don't have an official scheduled start as per usual at the NCBA level, and especially the doubleheaders. You don't know exactly when that first pitch is going to be. We believe it is going to be in about roughly 5 minutes. So while we have some time, let's take a quick look at today's Bulldogs starter. It's going to be Nathan Linder, and he's coming off an excellent fall season. Across 3 starts, he went 5 innings apiece and allowed a total of just 1 earned run. That is a 0.60 2.30 ERA, but beyond the run profession, he collected 17 strikeouts while walking just 5. However, with this weather sitting in about the high 30s, low 40s, Linder will not only have to navigate the Zips lineup, but do it inside Michigan's natural refrigerator. So as a pitcher yourself, Michael, my question to you is, how challenging can these temperatures be for any pitcher, but specifically for Linder today?
It's going to be extremely challenging. I had to pitch last night, and we had conditions that was 35 degrees, windy, snowy, all the above what you can expect from a Michigan game. It was hard to control that ball. So it's going to be tough for Linder today, but something that he's shown throughout the year that he can handle.
Yeah, it'll be his first start of the spring season, but we'll have to wait just a few minutes to get to that. So while we wait for first pitch, we're going to step aside for just a second, but first pitch is next here on Adrian College TV.
These students who have worked so hard to achieve what so many never achieve. This evening you join the select company of people who hold a baccalaureate degree or a master's degree. You join a privileged group of individuals, a minority of persons in this country, and an even smaller fraction from around the world who have had both the opportunity to pursue higher education and the intelligence, discipline, and determination to reach this goal. You should be very proud.
I will unquestionably miss being an Adrian College Bulldog. I will miss the pink flowers that light up the campus each spring, the dining halls that prompt exchanges of, "How's your day been?" after a long day of classes, and the sporting events that fill students with pride. I will miss the way this campus instantly feels like home each time I set foot on that Bulldog Mile.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Welcome back inside of the Nick. Pre-game meeting taking place, which means we're almost set for first pitch here for Game 2 of the doubleheader today and second of 3 games for this weekend series. So as we inch closer and closer to first pitch, let's take a quick look at the lineup for the Akron Zips. 1 through 3 is going to be Brady Tampot, Caleb Ogg, and Josh Meisner. 4 through 6, Jonah Carr, Luke McClure, and Cole Batt. 7 through 9 is Dwayne Brown, Josh Metz, and Adam Minzora.
Yeah, a lot of similarities from this first game to the second game with their lineup, but the Bulldogs pitching staff was able to navigate them, only giving up 5 runs. So with Linder on the mound, seemingly the team's ace, I think it could be a little bit of a different story, especially with Clement last game, his first start of the year.
Yeah, the Zip lineup, just kind of watching that first game, doesn't look like the deepest group that you'll find. And that was kind of shown in Game 1. Their bottom 4 hitters only collected 1 hit across 12 at-bats. That was Adam Minzora, who collected 1 hit, but most of the damage was done up top. It was Tampot and Ogg with 2 hits and 3 hits respectively. So if you're Nathan Linder, this first inning is absolutely crucial. If you're able to just kind of cruise through the top of that order, maybe even allowing 1 or fewer base runners, he's going to be set up really strong.
Yeah, it's going to be key for Linder today just to keep runners off the base paths. We saw also in that first game, in the first inning, Ogg came back and while he was sitting on third base, stole home on the throwback back to the pitchers. So something that Linder's going to have to look out for.
Yeah, the battery today is Nathan Linder and Dakota Clift. putting on the gear behind the plate. And, well, oftentimes you are not too envious of the backstops, but today would be maybe an example of a time you may find yourself being envious to a catcher. I've mentioned it a few times already. You see it across the diamond. Most of the players in hoodies, all of them in at least long sleeves. And I can tell you it is not fun playing in these types of conditions. However, Bulldogs did persevere in Game 1. We'll see if they're able to carry that momentum into Game 2 here. As the throwdown from Clift means we are set for Game 2 action here between the Bulldogs and the Zips. It'll be Brady Tampot leading things off here. As we mentioned, Game 1 had a pair of knocks. One of two Zip hitters with multiple hits in Game 1. See if he can carry that momentum here into Game 2, facing a different kind of arm in Linder. He's not going to blow you away with any sort of velocity, but only 4 or 5 walks on the season. The guy can put the ball where he wants to. First pitch misses up, according to the home plate umpire. Linder, a guy, you really want to see him work east to west instead of north to south. Will feature a pretty decent curveball in this game, but just want to stay out of the middle. That one sent over to second base, throw over to first. Out number 1 of the ball game. While we have a moment, let's take a look around the Bulldog defense. We've already mentioned Linder and Clift, your battery today, but the infield going left to right, it is Josh Cornett at third, Tyler Clement at shortstop, Sam Sipe at third, and Isaiah Wilczynski over at first. It'll be Caleb Ogg standing in. First pitch, Brender, 58-foot curveball.
Good first pitch from Linder, mixing up his tempo, mixing up the speeds, and changing the eye levels.
1-0, fastball swung on, popped in the air down the first base line. We'll see if Wilczynski has room. He will not. It'll hit off the top of the pavilion and bounce back into play. Get to save a baseball there. Evens the count up at 1-1 strike. And Linder does have 17 strikeouts in just 15 innings, so I'm not a mathematician myself, but I'd say that's more than 1 strikeout per inning.
I do believe that is true. I'm not great with math either, but I think 17 is more than 15.
The 1-1 from Linder. This one skied into the air, shallow right field. Rivera camps underneath it. He'll put it in the back pocket. 2 up, 2 down to start the ball game for Nathan Linder.
Yeah, here's the great start that you wanted to see from Linder. Calm, composed on the mound, and throwing with good purpose to the top of this pretty good Akron lineup.
So this will be Josh Meisner, 3-hole hitter. First pitch curveball. Misses down and out, gets past the catcher, Clift. You'll often see that with catchers. Anytime there's a ball in the dirt, nobody on base, it's kind of going to wave the glove. If you pick it, you pick it. If you don't, you don't. Just kind of limiting the amount of, bruises that end up all over the bodies of catchers. As the 1-0 curveball's foul back out of play. It's going to even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not the first time we've seen Linder go back-to-back off-speed pitches. Have to say the curveball is his best pitch. Gets a lot of weak contact on it. Not much of a swing and miss curveball. Not that prototypical hammer you see out of a lot of over-the-top righties, but certainly an effective pitch that misses barrels. But here Linder's behind 2-1 to Meisner. This one misses just below the knees. It's going to make it 3-1 as Meisner got some pretty good stature to him. Appears to be a little over 6 foot, so decent strike zone for Linder to hit. But this one, going to be a fair ball down the left field line. Cut off nicely in left by Augusto. Will hold him to a single, but it is our first hit of the ballgame, courtesy of Josh Meisner.
Yeah, great job by Meisner staying through that one. Kind of in his wheelhouse, but on a count like that, that's kind of what you expect. And great job by Meisner being on top of that one.
Yeah, Linder's certainly not wanting to walk anyone in the first inning. Just kind of threw the 3-1 cookie. And, the hand was certainly in the cookie jar for Meisner as he put a pretty good swing on it as he lined it in the left. This will be Jonah Carnow, the third baseman, batting cleanup here in Game 2. As Meisner leads off of first. Linder, first time working out of the stretch. This one grounded to second base. Once again, it'll be flipped over to Clement, and that is going to do it for the first, as we did have an injury in the box, so we are going to step away while they tend to him. It's 1 run, no hits in the first, 0-0.
business professional.
Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning, Bulldogs getting ready to hit. And they will be doing so up against, I believe that is Simon Gilchrist. Again, at the NCBA level, especially the D3 level, or Akron's actually D2 at its level, jersey numbers not always the most accurate, so we kind of just have to go off roster photos and supposed numbers. But I believe that is Simon Gilchrist towing the slab for the Zips. While we have moments, take a look at the Bulldog starting lineup in this one. First through third, it'll be Adam Lashaway, Nathan Linder, and Sam Sipe. 4 through 6, Dakota Clift, Landon Augusta, and Tyler Clement. 7, Josh Cornett, Pedro Rivera, and Isaiah Wolkozinski. So the throw from Menzora goes down to second, which means we are set to begin play here in the bottom of the first inning. And well, if you're wondering what happened the end of the first with an injury, it was to Jonah Carr, who I believe coming out of the box maybe twisted up his knee or something. You know, you don't want to speculate, but it was a lower body injury. He was able to walk off the field. So it'll be Adam Lashaway leading things off for the Bulldogs here. First pitch, breaking ball, misses about a foot outside, skips to the backstop. Count 1 ball, no strikes.
In the first game, Lashaway was 2 for 4 with a single and an RBI double. Looking to stay hot in this second game.
That one's going to even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Bulldog center fielder today. Lashaway, a guy who can play a lot. And is that Jonah Carr jogging out to third base?
I think that was.
Well, I did not anticipate seeing Jonah Carr back in this game. You're trying to figure out who his replacement was. But looks like he's all right, smiling over at third base. He's pointing to the shoulder. It was a shoulder injury, so my apologies. This counts 2 balls, 1 strike to Lashaway. Good hitters count here. 2-1. Fastball popped in the air, left side. It's going to make its way out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Lashaway. Lashaway, an uber athletic player, just hasn't quite had the consistent offensive success, but you certainly have seen the flashes, as during his time last year with the NCBA D1 squad, you saw him have a couple really nice at-bats. He's got some buggy whip in that bat of his. You know, if he gets a pitch in his zone, he can certainly do some damage on it. But here, just trying to get things started for the Bulldogs. 3-2 from Gilchrist. Fastball misses above the head. Lashaway will take the jog down to first base. It is the dreaded leadoff walk.
Yeah, not something that you want to see out of Gilchrist, but for the Bulldogs, exactly what you want to see. Trying to get an early lead here in this first inning with Linder.
So Linder trying to bat for himself, create some runs. First pitch to him, runner goes, throw down to second base is a good one, and they have him dead to rights. Jumps over the bag. Lashaway dancing behind second base. Might have to put on a pump fake here, and in the end, he will be tagged out. Gotta love NCBA baseball, man.
And glad we have that one on video.
As I mentioned, Lashley was dead to rights. Mazzura put one on the money. He was out by about 4 steps, so instead of just giving himself up, he tried to jump over the tag, which was initially successful, but did end up a good foot or two past the back. Had no chance of getting back and, well, putting on some dance moves over at second base. The 2-0 misses in to Linder. I was going to mention Nathan Linder, a guy who not afraid to drop down the bunt. Wouldn't have been surprised with the third baseman Carr playing so far back. He had the chances. That one's going to miss upstairs. It'll be back-to-back walks. One to Lashley, one to Linder. We'll see if Linder wants to be aggressive on the bases. But for now, it's going to be Sam Sipe in the 3-hole today.
Linder did have a steal in that last game, so something to definitely keep an eye on early in this one.
You know, it's kind of always the psychological battle. You see a guy like Manzora who just threw an absolute dart down to second base, threw out maybe the Bulldogs' fastest player in Lashley, one of the better base runners on this team, and threw him out with ease. So you got to imagine anyone less than Lashley, you're just crossing their name off the list for at least the first couple innings. You know, kind of just want to get your guys on, let them be. As this one sky into the air, shallow center field. And it will drop in for a base knock.
Yeah, Tom Pot just let someone fall in front of him. Maybe could have tried to lay out. We saw him lay out for a ball in the first game, but playing it safe this time. This time it was with the runner on, so that's likely what was going through his brain there.
Off the bat, it looked like Tampa had a pretty good read on it. It looks like he was going to be able to camp underneath it, but he just kind of slowed up in the end. Like you said, just kind of let it land right in front of him. That's going to bring up the backstop. Dakota Clift, early RBI opportunity for him. First pitch, like maybe a changeup, misses down and away. Clift had a very effective fall season. He was 4 for 9 as this one's going to run inside and get a piece of him. And in this kind of weather, I don't think it got him too good, but that one's still going to sting at least a little bit as he takes the jog down to first base.
That definitely won't feel good. And now we see a mound visit. And yes, there's one out, bases loaded, but the Bulldogs haven't gotten a hit yet. It's all just, well, they have one, I guess, but something that the Zips need to kind of control here is the pitching and the location of where you're throwing the ball.
And I do like the idea of a mound visit here. Again, Gilchrist just hasn't been throwing just the amount of strikes that you would need out of him. As well, they're loaded with one out in center field. And it is Brady Tampot, who was getting stretched out. Again, in this weather, and this weather staying healthy throughout a game is, well, it gets ever challenging. And lower the temperature's going. Well, Michigan in just about mid-March here doesn't get too much worse for playable baseball conditions. And I say playable because, well,
we're playing.
They are on the field playing. Brings up Augusta. First pitch, fastball, hits the inside corner. Finally, Gilchrist gets ahead of a Bulldog. Defensive alignment, quarters, well, the first baseman, Meisner, playing a couple toes in the grass. 0-1 misses just above the letters of Augusta. However, the third baseman, Carr, playing about a step or two behind the bag, middle, content with the double play. So anything hit hard to the corners, they will be coming for. This one, looping line drive, will be caught by the shortstop, McClure. Off the bat, Augusta thought he had himself a hit, but that thing caught it off the handle a little bit, just died pretty much as soon as it left the bat. So an unproductive out there for Augusta. So that's going to bring up the shortstop, Tyler Clement. Try to strike first here for the Bulldogs. They're loaded with 2 away. First pitch tapped at the plate. So you got a piece of the catcher, Manzora, but, well, if he's been a catcher his whole life, I'm sure he's got to be used to it by now. So no balls, 1 strike. Linder leading off a third, Clift at second. Both have pretty good speed. Tate Wise, the runner at first. So anything in a gap, Wise certainly has the speed to come around and score. So 0-1. Breaking ball misses well off the plate away. It's going to even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gilchrist works out of the stretch. The 1-1. This one off the handle, right to the third baseman, Carr. So the Bulldogs load them up in the inning with 1 away, but back-to-back weak lineouts lets the Zips escape traffic. It's no runs on 1 hit. We've played 1 here at the Nick. Scoreless. You're watching. And
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at AdrianCollegeTV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
I have it open. Stay connected with all the action by following at AdrianCollegeTV today from social media. From game highlights to campus events, we have got you covered. Don't miss a moment. Follow at AdrianCollegeTV today. So top of the second being set to be played. Linder going back to work. Of course, one of the better ad reads you will hear all season from myself. Sound like I've said that thing about 100 times or not?
Definitely not.
So for the Zips, it'll be 5, 6, 7. That's McClure at bat and Brown in the second. So the throw from Clift goes down, which means we are set for the top of the second. Mike, what are you liking out of Linder so far?
I've liked Linder's pace. He's not going too slow, but going pretty quick. Keeping the Zips hitters off on their toes, not letting them think about what their last pitch scene was.
First pitch, line, shallow right field. Rivera, range is over. He'll put it in the back pocket. Another leadoff batter retired by Nathan Linder. That one not a bad swing from McClure. Got a fastball about letter high, outer third. Put a decent swing on it, but in this weather, you got to really get a hold of it if you want to beat one of these outfielders, which on a typical day, you wouldn't see Bulldog outfielders playing this shallow. I mean, just looking at the right fielder, Rivera, he is maybe 50 feet in the grass.
Almost 9 infielders here with all the outfielders at such short depth. But something I think that they're used to with Linder being on the mound.
Well, you are playing the dangerous game, though. Anything over the heads of the shortstop or second baseman will find its way, most likely, if not to the wall, very deep into that gap. And although the Nick isn't the most home run friendly park, it is extremely cavernous. The power alleys of this place go very deep. Of course, the left and right center field gaps. So anything to hit to the wall, well, we may be looking at an inside the park home run, but certainly at least a triple. So Linder looking to avoid his first walk of the game, also looking for his first strikeout. The full count offering. Swing and a miss. Got him out on strikes. Went with the fastball. Looked to be about letter high from here. Nathan Linder gets his first strikeout of the game.
Yeah, great strikeout. His 13th of the year so far. Definitely going to look to add on to that one as we go forward in this one.
Well, Linder just doesn't want to walk anyone. He had such a good ratio back in the fall, and while facing an Akron Zips lineup that isn't the most deadly, especially this bottom third, as Dwayne Brown steps in, takes ball 1. Getting through this bottom third on paper shouldn't be the most challenging task. So if you fall behind a hitter, maybe worth it just give him some cookies. As this one laced down the left field line by Brown, Augusta able to cut it off before it gets too far. It'll hold Brown to a single. But it is yet another 2-out base knock for the Zips.
And not much Cornette can do there. That was hit on the screws, just out of his range of his backhand range. And another chance here for the Zips.
It'll be Josh Metz, the 8-hole hitter. Brown, big lead off of first. Isn't going. First pitch breaking ball Deflects off the glove of Cliff, but doesn't range far enough. Brown will stay put. Again, these cold conditions, I can't imagine throwing a curveball can be too comfortable right now. You know,
it's difficult.
It's a pitch that requires so much tension on your fingers to maintain the good grip on the ball that in these temperatures, you start to lose the feeling in your fingers a little bit. So, you know, really pulling down and yanking that curveball may become a problem for Linder as we progress through this one. This counts 1-1 to Mets. Courtesy throw over to first. Brown back easily. Linder has to work out of the stretch once again. Cliff set up pretty much middle here, ready for Brown to be taken off. 1-1, fastball, chased it. Does Mets. Linder gets ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking for the second strikeout of the inning, and well, I'd be willing to bet a lot of things that this pitch is going to be a breaking ball, Mike.
I go back to the fastball as we haven't seen Mets be on time with it. Go fastball up again.
We're going to see whose guess is correct. Linder comes set, checks on Brown. Here's the pitch to Mets. Swing and a miss! Down in the dirt, it was the breaking ball. Linder gets his second strikeout of the inning, strands another runner. 0-0. We've played 1.5 here at the Nick. You're watching NCBA Baseball here in
Ready to elevate your game? At Adrian College, our athletes strive for excellence on and off the field. Get involved in over 50 student clubs and organizations where your passions meet purpose. With innovative programs and personalized learning, our academics are designed to ignite your future. Experience vibrant student life, where community and connection shape your college journey. Adrian College, where you belong. Apply today and become part of the Bulldog family.
Well, I did the last game, so.
Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning being set to be played. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Dogs. That's Cornett, Rivera, and Wojcinski. As it'll be Simon Gilchrist going back to work through a lot of pitches in that first inning, but ultimately the Bulldogs threatened but did not score. See if the bottom of the lineup can get something started here. And so Gilchrist works out of the stretch every single time. It'll be Cornett leading things off. First pitch to him. Fastball misses off the outer edge. As Gilchrist falls behind. The 1-0. Swinging a ground ball sent up the middle. Fielded by McClure. It'll be a tough play, but he gets Cornett by a couple of steps. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the second.
Good start of the inning for Gilchrist. Like we saw in the first inning, a couple of walks to start the inning. This time gets an out before any base runners. We'll see if he's settled in really or if it's just a hit off the end of the bat that found the defender.
Yeah, if you're Josh Cornett, you got to be a little disappointed after that at bat. You know, you get ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes, and well, you got a pretty good fastball to hit. Looked to be about middle of the knee, middle of the plate, but it's kind of lunged out in front of it. Put a pretty weak swing on it. Those are the ones where you just want to stay in the legs and try to shoot something up the middle there instead of a weak hit. But here's a line drive into left field off the bat of Rivera. Line drive knock for the Bulldogs, and that is exactly what they're looking for there.
Yeah, especially nearing the end of the bottom of the lineup, expecting to turn the lineup card over. This is where a lot of the production will be seen from the Bulldogs.
You see kind of just the contrast in swings there. You saw in the Cornett at bat, pretty much an identical pitch. Fastball, middle of the plate, knee level. That time, Rivera kind of stayed in the legs, was able to put a barrel on it. Meanwhile, you saw Cornett lunge out and roll over. So the Bulldogs need to have more swings like that. They want to try to beat the Zips and this weather throughout this one. It'll be Isaiah Wilczynski stepping in. He took strike one. Courtesy throw over to Rivera. Not a ton of speed on first, especially after Lashley was thrown out in the first. Can't imagine he'll be taken off here against Menzora. So Wilczynski looks to turn it over to the top of the lineup here. 1-0 or 0-1 misses just off the outer edge. Going to even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Gilchrist checks on the runner. Healthy lead for Rivera over at first. Wilczynski puts up the right hand, asking for time, and it is granted. Bulldog dugout fairly lively, especially for the second inning of a doubleheader. This will be the 9th inning they've played today, so the standard length of a baseball game. We'll see them play 9 tomorrow in the series finale against the Zips. 1-1 breaking ball. They're going to say it missed down. So Wilczynski standing about 6'4", 6'5", maybe even taller. Do not have listed heights in front of me, but he is a tall human being, so that strike zone can get a little big as he rolls this one over to third base. Bottled by Carr. His only play will be to first, well, they'll get Wilczynski in time. So it does advance Rivera over to second base for the top of the lineup.
Great job by Carr there, staying with that, bobbling it a little bit, understanding that Wilczynski's not as fast of a runner. Still made the play to first and get the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Carr was certainly thinking about turning two. Pretty much a tailor-made double play ball. A one-hopper ended up a little below thigh high. Spin throw, check on Rivera. He's back in plenty of time. But again, it was a tailor-made double play. If he just fields it remotely cleanly, they have a pretty good shot at turning two, because even with an extended bobble, he was able to get Wilczynski over at first. It's the 0-1 or 0-0 to Lashaway, misses down below the zone. Remember, Lashaway had a long at-bat back in first, drew a walk, but was pretty much instantly thrown out at second base by a beautiful throw by Menzora. Bulldogs still looking for the first run of the game. 1-0 breaking ball drops into the zone, called strike one. Lashaway, so far this season, comes in batting .344. A 1 OPS is back-to-back breaking balls. This one drops in the middle of the plate as well. Lashaway certainly not a fan of that one, but well, if he wants to have any chance of this at bat, he's going to have to swing at one of these. Just not really reading the spin from the pitches from Gilchrist. 1-2. Gilchrist went back to the fastball, pulled it outside. It's going to even things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you're Gilchrist, I feel like you got to throw that get-me-over curveball again. Kind of challenge Lashaway here. You typically don't hear about curveball challenges, but he's watched a pair of them that landed down the middle.
Buckled at 2 of them.
2-2. Went with the fastball. Lashaway swung through it. And once again, the Bulldogs threatened but do not score. 1 run, no hits here in the second. 0-0. You're watching NCBA Baseball.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Like some runs?
Yeah. Welcome back. Top of the third inning. Nathan Linder going back to work. He'll face 9-1-2. That 9 being Adam Menzora. He'll take a first pitch. I believe the changeup misses down and out. And Menzora made the nice defensive play in the first inning, trying to get the Akron Zips bats going as they face Linder here. 1-0 misses down low once again. Linder falls behind 2-0. And although the Bulldogs haven't scored yet, they've had fairly lengthy offensive innings, so Linder kind of just had to sit on the bench the entire time. This one's skied in the air left field. Augusta ranging to his left. He'll get under it, make the basket catch. 1 up, 1 down once again for Linder.
Almost looked like he didn't see it right off the bat. It was pretty cloudy, and the ball would blend in pretty well with the clouds as is right now.
Well, not only the clouds, but being a left fielder here at Nicolay Field takes on a new challenge in the 2026 season as, well, the Sweep Family Athletic Facility, the dome just down the first base line, anything off the bat ranging into the left center gap, you're pretty much directly in line with a white dome, with a white baseball, and especially towards those afternoon games, those 5, 6, 7 o'clock games. When that sun is setting, it's got to be difficult out there to catch anything. Speaking of the matter, another one lifted into left field. Augusta, much better read on this one. He'll camp under it, make the grab. 2 up, 2 down here in the third.
Yeah, another great read, and you just said it. He read it a lot better, and it was outside of the view of the dome, so that definitely had to help a little bit.
That's going to bring up Caleb Ogg. Last time up, he skied one in a shallow right where Rivera put it away. Linder looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Center cut fastball called strike 1. Again, been very efficient. Only 1 3-ball count for Linder so far. And well, the way the Zips are just swinging at pretty much anything in the zone, can't imagine that's going to change. So the 0-1 is bounced, deflects off of the shin of Clift. Makes its way about 30 feet up the first base line. Linder works from the first base side of the rubber. Into the windup. Here's the 1-1. Another breaking ball. 58-foot curveball. Clift has to go down to a knee and block another one. It's going to make it 2 balls, 1 strike to the Zip second baseman. Again, we talked about the Bulldog defensive alignment back in the second inning. These outfielders still, even with the top of the lineup up, very shallow. Not worried about anything over their heads as this one's tapped up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Bobbled by Clement. And with the bobble, it's not going to be in time. It'll be an infield hit for Caleb Ogg and extends the third inning for Josh Meisner.
And a great job by Will Kaczynski coming off the base there, not letting that one get into the dugout or back to the fence and potentially allowing an extra base.
Yeah, I would certainly rule that one as an infield hit for Ogg. Would have been a super tough play, even if it was fielded cleanly. But when you factor in all of our ballpark factors today, you have just the brutal temperatures here, along with a little bit of a breeze, making it feel in the low 20s today. I looked right at first pitch; it was 21 degrees field like.
That's cold.
And even if he fielded it cleanly, it would have been a very tough play. This one's labeled into center field. They have a shot to force at second, but it's not going to be in time. It's going to be back-to-back base knocks of different varieties. This one off the bat of Josh Meisner.
And we saw that type of play unfold in the first game. Unfortunately, the Bulldog infield was not ready for it. This time they were, but something to keep an eye on, especially if you're the Zips. Hustling up to second base, even on what looks to be an easy single.
And you got to imagine Ogg kind of just forgot the amount of outs, because with 2 outs, no reason why he shouldn't have. It shouldn't have even been a close play at second base. Now, it wasn't the closest of plays, but still, the fact that there was even a play to be had just kind of shows where the focus may be at this point for the Zips. They come into play today, not the best of records, especially compared to the Bulldogs, but they come in with a record of 7-8 on the season. Well, 7-9 after game 1. Our stats aren't updated here as Linder drops in a breaking ball to even things up. Now, record, of course, isn't everything. Fall season versus spring season, very different things in the NCBA baseball world. So a lot of the players you have are incoming freshmen who, they're still adjusting to the college lifestyle, haven't even gotten a chance to do a lot of the prototypical college things yet. So, they've kind of had, since that initial 6 to 8 week period, they've had a lot of time to not only develop on the field, but off the field as well. So you kind of see a completely different team once spring rolls around, even if it's the same players. The types of players they maybe have changed over the last 3 to 4 months. Certainly creates an interesting dynamic here at the NCBA level. Meanwhile, Linder is behind in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike to Jonah Carr, who miraculously is making a second plate appearance. Skies this one deep in the air to left field. Augusta going back, starts backpedaling, but he'll put it away for his 3rd putout of the inning. This time it's the Zips who threaten but do not score. We're scoreless after 2.5. You're watching Club Baseball here in Adrian College. Welcome back into the Nick. Bottom of the 3rd inning. It'll be 2-3-4 for the Dogs. That's Linder, Sipe, and Clift. Last time up, Linder drew a 4-pitch walk. Didn't see anything in the same area code as the strike zone. See if that changes second time around, facing Simon Gilchrist. First pitch misses way inside once again. Linder has not seen a pitch even remotely close to the plate yet.
Yeah, and that's something he has to account for here. This is his 6th pitch, and he's seen 5 balls, not, like you said, not close.
This one's skied in the air, shallow left center field, going to drop in for a base hit, dropped right in front of it. Josh Metz. Wasn't the prettiest of hits in the world, but they're all the same in the books. It'll be a leadoff knock for Nathan Linder and the Dogs.
And you can kind of tell Linder was just ready for a pitch in the zone, or even remotely close to it, looking to get a head on it and really pounce on it. He was able to do so, and now we have Linder's speed on the bases.
Yeah, it was a fastball either at the letters, slightly above the letters. Either way, Linder went out and got it. It was a little bit out in front, resulting in the weak contact. But sometimes the weak contact does work, especially in games like this. Here's the 1-0 to Sipe, grounded deep in the hole. Only play will be to first base. It is close, but in the end, Sipe is retired. However, it is a productive out, because Linder will move into scoring possession with 1 away.
Yeah, and great hustle up the line by Sipe as well, making it a close play. About a half a step is what that throw beat him by.
So that's going to bring up Dakota Clift, who, like Linder, didn't have a chance to even see any decent pitches in his first at-bat. Got plunked first pitch of the at-bat. Slater stranded at second base. First pitch to him, fastball, outer third, called, strike 1. Bulldogs still looking for their first run of the game here, looking to strike first in back-to-back games. So it'll be Dakota Clift, cleanup hitter, looking to get that job done. Spin throw to second base. Second baseman Og nowhere near the bag, allows Linder to get back in easily.
Also saw the middle infield try to pull a hidden ball trick or fake throw into center field and try to get Linder off the base. Did not fall for it, though.
Next one, called strike, fastball at the knees. Clift not happy with himself after that one. Well, maybe not himself, also maybe the call. I mean, it looked pretty good from our vantage point here, which we're pretty much directly behind the box, maybe about 8 paces due west of the box. The 1-2, swinging off the handle, will be fouled down the right field line. Cliff staying alive here, earning another one.
And that cannot feel good on the hands. Ball off the handle and this without even any batting gloves either.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen a Bulldog take one off the hands. We saw Augusta and Clement both take one off the handle, and as you mentioned, partner, it does not feel good in this weather. The 0-2 breaking ball misses well above the zone. As Cliff tries to battle back into this one. Linder leads off a second, has pretty good speed. Anything hit into the outfield will likely score him. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul tip at the plate, and they're going to say Manzora got the glove underneath of it. They're going to call Dakota Clift out on strikes.
Clift thought that one might have clipped the turf, but umpire saw it differently, and can't really argue with the umpires in baseball.
Yeah, an unfortunate break for Clift as Manzara typically keeps that glove hand, that thumb underneath the baseball, but that was a breaking ball that was breaking down, so instead of trying to keep that one into the strike zone, he kind of flipped the glove hand over to get underneath the ball, and as it so happened, the foul tip redirected it ever so slightly, but since that glove was down, he was able to get beneath the baseball and will get the out on Clift. As Augusta fouls that one away, it'll be quickly no balls, 2 strikes. It's Linder on second base, Augusta in the box, 2 down here in the bottom of the third, still looking for our first run of the ball game. Simon Gilchrist looking to escape traffic for the 3rd inning in a row. This one lifted, shallow right center field. This may be a no man's land, and right field sliding and catching is Dwayne Brown. An excellent defensive play to end the third here. And we've played 3 here at the Nick, 0-0. You're watching NCB.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
Welcome back. Top of the 4th inning here. Nathan Linder goes back to work. He'll be facing 5, 6, 7 of the Zips lineup. That's McClure, Batt, and Brown. First pitch, fastball, center cut, called. Strike 1. Well, Linder through 3 innings has allowed 4 hits so far, has struck out 2, no walks in the game. This one misses down and out. It's going to even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bulldog defense still playing extremely shallow on these Zips, not afraid to get burned in any sort of way. This one's skied in the air, straight at the correctly positioned Rivera. He'll put it away. That is 4 straight leadoff hitters retired by Nathan Linder.
And that's another example of where the outfield playing in has been helping out the Bulldogs defensively. And like you said, 4 straight leadoff batters retired.
Yeah, so far of the 10 outs recorded, 6 of them have been hit into the outfield, but this one won't make it there. Nathan Linder, putting that pitching fielder's practice in the offseason to use, easily sticks up the glove, flip over to first. 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th.
A great reaction time from Linder. Not hit too hard, but hard enough to force him to make a quick reaction.
Well, that one put him in a pretty good mood, out there smiling on the mound as he delivers strike 1 to Dwayne Brown, who back in the 2nd inning laced one down the third base line for a base knock. Looking to do the same type of damage here. The 0-1, wave and a miss. Good fastball by Linder. Started it middle in. Ended up maybe half a ball's length inside. Good 2-seam movement on that one. As the 0-2 misses down below the zone. So Linder looking to put an exclamation point here on the 4th inning. Here's the 1-2 to Brown. Swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball once again. Top of the zone. It is 3 up, 3 down here in the 4th for Nathan Linder. Played 3.5. We're scoreless. You're watching NC.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a 3rd-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University.
I'm an underwater cinematographer.
So I didn't really decide I wanted to become a pilot till after college.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I can have focused information in a couple swipes.
Involve yourself as many opportunities that you can.
The number one most important thing is knowing your own weaknesses. Proper planning.
Breakfast.
It's always something different, something new.
The fact that you can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Ready to explore your Adrian future? Scholarship Day lets admitted students tour campus, meet faculty, and earn a renewable scholarship. Register now at adrian.edu/admissions-visit-campus/scholarship-day. So bottom of the 4th action here. It'll be 5, 6, 7. That's Augusta, Clement, and Cornett. Neither of them were able to get a hit their last time up. We'll see if that changes second time around. It's Simon Gilchrist still on the bump for the Zips. It is Clement leading off the inning. First pitch to him misses down. Now again, we spent a lot of time talking about defensive positioning so far, and just looking at this Zip defense, the outfielders playing a good 20 to 25 feet deeper than the Bulldogs. So it just kind of shows you maybe the power that number 2 next to your name has. It kind of shows that these guys have scored over 120 runs this year. They know how to put the bat on the ball, and they can burn you a little bit. This one's sent back to the screen. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Bulldog shortstop. He's already made a couple decent plays in this game. Looking to do a little bit with the bat in his hand here, leading off the 4th. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Got him with the bender. And it was a good one from Gilchrist as he gets Clement to swing out in front over the top of it. 1 up, 1 down here in the 4th.
And that's a great start to the inning for Gilchrist. Not letting the leadoff guy on usually will lead to a very productive inning. So we'll see how this continues to manufacture in this bottom of the 4th.
That's going to bring up the third baseman. That's Josh Cornett. Bounced out to shortstop his last time up. That was to lead off the 2nd inning. As he takes strike 1 on the outer edge. 0-1 from Gilchrist. This time went with the breaking ball. Misses well off the plate. And we see Linder have that big breaking, looping curveball. Meanwhile, Simon Gilchrist has more of the, not the sharpest of sliders in terms of just, velocity on the pitch and movement profile, but more of a sharp, more of a prototypical slider. He's been starting it on the outer edge of the plate. It's been ending up maybe a good 2 to 3 balls lengths off the outer edge. Just kind of a different style of pitching there. 2-1 from Cornett inside. They'll check the swing down to first. No, he did not. It's going to move it to 3 balls, 1 strike. Bulldog third baseman looking for their first base runner since the Nathan Linder single to lead off the third. Here's the 3-1. Fastball misses just up. It'll be a walk for Josh Cornett. That'll give Pedro Rivera a chance to hit with runners on.
Yeah, it's like what we saw with Rivera in his last at bat. Soft line drive into left field, got a base hit, keep the line moving.
Courtesy throw over to Cornett. He's back easily. And the Bulldogs have had base runners on every inning of this one, but ever since the leadoff walk by Lashway, where he was instantly thrown out stealing, haven't seen anyone try to take second base off of Manzora yet. This one bounces in front of the plate. Good stop of Manzora. Rivera looking to keep the bat hot here. Just an 0.83 average entering play today, but this one's going to go up after that first base knock, looking to raise it even more. So Rivera stands in open stance, very far off the plate. You see Manzora setting up outside. This one sails up on him. It's going to make the count 3 balls and no strikes. See if Rivera has the green light here. Got to imagine he does not. In a game where the Bulldogs just have not been able to piece up many baseballs, got to imagine he'll give away the courtesy as he does just that. Center cut, courtesy fastball from Gilchrist. Keeps him in the at-bat. 3 balls, 1 strike now. Still a good hitter's count. Looking to do some damage here. 3-1, fastball swung on. It'll get out of play down the right field line off the top of the seats here at Nicolay Field. And as you would expect with temperatures like this, not many enjoying the beautiful Michigan weather in mid-March. A handful on each side, rooting for their respective sides. For the 3-2, Gilchrist, another check on Cornett. Unlike the NCAA level, the NCBA does not have restrictions on the amount of times that you can throw over to first base. So if a pitcher wanted to, he can throw it over 100 times in a row, and there's nothing they can do about it. This one sent on the ground, second base. Only play for Og will be to first base. Almost pulled him off the bag, but the right foot of Meisner able to stay on. Rivera with a productive 1-out ground out. It'll move Cornett over to second base and give Isaiah Wolkozinski an RBI chance.
And that's a great job by Meisner, keeping his foot on the base and getting that out, a very much needed out with the top of the lineup coming up.
So Wolkozinski not only looking to pass the baton to the top, is pickoff play at second, and they're going to call him out. Josh Cornett got caught leaning off of second base, didn't get the benefit of the call. So before Wolkozinski even has a chance, Cornett is picked off, and we are now scoreless after 4. You're watching NCBA Baseball. Welcome back. Top of the 5th inning being set to be played. It'll be 8-9-1. That's Metz, Manzora, and Tampot. It's Nathan Linder going back to work. He's retired 4 leadoff hitters in a row in this game. Has yet to allow a leadoff base runner. The first pitch is skipped in. Linder out of the windup, first base side of the rubber, swing and a miss. Had Mets way out in front. Looked like maybe a change up there. It's kind of hard to speculate because at the NCBA D3 level, you typically don't see many super high velocity fastballs. Most guys sitting mid to high 70s, low 80s. Linder on the lower end of that spectrum, so it's kind of tough to tell sometimes. The 1-2's popped up behind the plate. We'll see if Clift has room, and he will. Dakota Clift makes a nice play behind the plate out of our vantage point. Not often you have an obstructive view here, but Dakota Clift discards of the mask and puts it away. That is 5 straight leadoff hitters retired by Nathan Linder.
Yeah, and that's a great job by Clift going up against the wall. Ball barely misses the netting in front of us here. And that's just a great job in limited space.
So it'll be Adam Manzora stepping into the box. Pitch from Linder, breaking ball, misses down. Haven't seen the bottom of the lineup for either team play too much of a part. Well, haven't seen anything from either offense so far. No extra base hits in the game, just a few singles on each side. This one's fouled back. Yeah, and we spoke about, well, Michael, before the game, you were the one who talked about just kind of the pace that Linder tends to work with. Certainly doesn't work slow out there, but not the fastest guy you'll see. But right now, Nathan Linder is getting the ball, getting his sign immediately, and going into the windup. There is no hesitation at all. It's more of what you see in softball, where you'll see pitchers just get the ball and instantly you're going into that. You're going into your motion. As it did not benefit him here, is he walks the 9-hole hitter Adam Manzara, and that's going to turn it over to the top with Brady Tampot. So in the NCBA Division III level, you do still get courtesy runners for catchers, so we'll see one come on now. So the typically slow Manzora will be replaced by what I would imagine is a faster option over at first base. First pitch to Tampot, center cut fastball. Linder looking for the double play here, not much of a lead at first base. As Linder comes set. 0-1, breaking ball, finds the center of the plate for a called strike 2. So after walking Manzora, all of a sudden Linder going straight back to work, back-to-back center cut strikes, just challenging these zip hitters. As the runner goes on the 0-2, so it's fouled back out of play. Pretty good jump by a runner there at first base. Again, it's really tough to tell who that is. But the count remains. No balls, 2 strikes to Brady Tampot. Zip center fielder today looking to do something with the bat. Here's the 0-2. Fastball yanked down and away. Sliding grab by Cliff keeps it in front. Count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And we still see Linder moving or working with a good pace.
He's going to put a pause to that pace there as he checks on the runner at first base. Nice pickoff play, but not nearly in time. So Linder will put his attention back onto Brady Tampot. Looking for another strikeout in this one. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses up. Good hands by Tampot, able to keep it on the shoulder there. It's going to even things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. See what Linder goes with here. Before that, courtesy throw over to first base, keeping the runner, who was already pretty close to the bag, close once again.
Yeah, he will go with a pickoff attempt.
So Linder checks the runner, comes set. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, swung on, in line drive. That'll get through, but they have a play at second base. Lashaway, easy throw over to Clement at second, and that is the rare 8-6 putout.
Not something you see every day. As you coined it, rare, but, I mean, it's really not something you see every day.
I mean, we've already mentioned multiple times just how shallow these Bulldog outfielders are playing, and that allows you to get into opportunities like that where with only 1 away, the runner at first base kind of had to freeze. This one's flared into right field. Rivera will put it away, so that's going to put an end to not only my story, but the top of the 5th inning. We are still scoreless. We'll go to the bottom of the
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
I haven't eaten.
Don't miss Chase Matthew live at Adrian College on March 21st at 7 p.m. for our spring concert. It's free for all Adrian College students, and tickets are available now at adriancollege.hometownticketing.com. That's March 21st. Chase Matthew at Adrian College. We're holding it down. I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm pretty excited for that spring concert.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good spring concert. We've gotten some teasers for it, but you'll never know if it's until you go to the real thing.
Yeah, the official Adrian College Instagram reposted Chase Matthews' kind of promo video where he shouts out the college. And, we're a pretty small Division III school in southern Michigan, so anytime you get a shout out from a kind of a celebrity, you feel a little bit better about yourself. So Isaiah Wogzinski will lead off the bottom of the fifth inning for the Dogs. Didn't get a chance to in the bottom of the fourth after Josh Cornett was picked off at second base after leaning too far over. First pitch, breaking ball, misses down. Back in the second, Wogzinski grounded out to third base. Would have been a double play, but third baseman Carr kind of bobbled it. He has since been removed from the game. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Bulldog first baseman. Gilchrist still working. Fastball, center cut, swung through by Wogzinski. Count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gilchrist looking for his 4th strikeout of the game. Comes set. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him out on strikes. One with another fastball. Pretty much an identical pitch to the previous. It is 1 up, 1 down here in the 5th.
And now it's a great chance for the top of the lineup. You look for Adrian. They did a great job in the first game, getting on base, scoring a couple of runs. And now it's time to see if they'll do it again.
Yeah, if you're the Bulldogs, it's time to go. You've been flirting with scoring the entire game. They've been talking to her the entire time, but it's time to close in, get the number, start putting some runs on the board.
Yes, it is.
It'll be Adam Lashway, the 1-0. Fastball yanks down and away. Finally, the Bulldogs find themselves in an advantage count in the batter's box. It is 2 balls, no strikes. Lashway 0 for 1 in the game, walked back in the first, struck out in the second. There's a big hole left side as the shortstop playing very close to the second base bag. This one's lifted into center field, but right at Brady Tampa, who will put it in his back pocket. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th.
And that's just another situation of the Zips defense knowing where to play. They know the Bulldogs can hit it hard, so they back up their outfielders a little bit, and it worked right to perfection there.
Yeah, that one probably the best swing we've seen out of either team thus far, and Lashway, a center fielder himself, if he was in center, like his positioning, that ball would have been a good 12 to 15 steps over his head. Instead, Tampot works in a step or two and makes the grab. So we've seen it both work out for both teams where they're playing. So it's kind of hard to knock either side. So Nathan Linder trying to get himself some run support. He's had himself a nice offensive day so far, 1 for 1 with a walk. Looking to get on base for the 3rd time here. 1-1, fastball, called strike on the inner edge. Linder not feeling great about that call, but if he's the pitcher, he doesn't even have the right to even think about turning around. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball misses well in the dirt. A nice stop by Manzora. Linder able to keep the bat on his shoulders, getting things up 2-2. So Gilchrist still looking for that fourth strikeout. He comes set. 2-2 to Linder. Swinging a line drive up the middle. Going to get through for a base knock. Second of the game for Nathan Linder. Third time on base overall. He's having a nice day in the box and on the mound.
Yeah, definitely a great start, especially to the spring season with it being your first game day of the year. Great start to the spring for Linder over there.
Yeah, I know the NCBA Division I Bulldogs traveled to Ann Arbor last night, took on the Wolverines, but they got the job done.
They did certainly get the job done. 13-11, gritty win, as was coined in the team huddle after the game. Gritty win, and they'll look to get back out there tomorrow and finish off the job.
Yeah, but for now, we have the Division III Dogs on the diamond right now, still trying to get their first run of the game, looking to sweep the doubleheader and move into tomorrow's series finale with a chance to sweep. It's Sam Sipe looking to get Linder in from first with 2 away. The 2-0 fastball called strike. Outer third. If you're Sipe, you got to imagine he's going to want that pitch back. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike. Linder, not much of a lead, but he's going to take off anyways. This one grounded over to shortstop. Nice play, fielded in plenty of time to get Sipe. Once again, the Bulldogs get a runner on, but cannot bring one home. We've played 5 here from the Nick, and we're still scoreless. You're watching, and
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University.
I'm an underwater cinematographer.
So I didn't really decide I wanted to become a pilot till after college.
Jevy is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
Involve yourself as many opportunities that you can.
The number one most important thing is knowing your own weaknesses. Proper planning.
Breakfast.
It's always something different, something new.
The fact that you can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career.
welcome back. Top of the 6th inning here. Nathan Linder going back to work against this Zip lineup. It'll be 3, 4, 5. The first of those being Josh Meisner, one of 2 players in this game with a pair of knocks. Singled back in the first and singled in the third. First pitch to him misses well below the zone. Cliff has to go down to a knee and try to scoop it. It's not often you see Linder fall behind a hitter, but Josh Meisner, one of the few guys in this lineup that's proven that he can put together a good at-bat and beat Linder as he beats this one into the ground, hops over the glove of Cornett. It'll skate into left field. For the first time today, Linder does not retire a leadoff hitter. It's a leadoff hit for Josh Meisner.
Yeah, it's a great job by Meisner, making the adjustment to Linder's pitches, getting ahead of it, in front of it, putting it through the gap of the 5-6 hole, and putting the pressure on Linder early in the inning.
Well, after that first pitch breaking ball, you kind of figured that Linder was going to have to come back with a fastball, and Meisner was just sitting on one. Got one in a very hittable location, middle in, and just ripped it. Cornett had a pretty decent jump of it off the bat, but didn't play it right off the turf as he opted to go for the in-between hop instead of either coming in for the short hop or backing up. Well, he didn't have a chance to back up. His only play was to maybe take 2 steps in, try to get one on the short hop. This counts 2 balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Looked like the changeup there from Linder as he pulls the string. Going to get things to 2 balls, 1 strike here. Runner Meisner leads off at first. Not much of a lead for him. We'll see if Akron wants to get a little bit more aggressive on the base paths. Because they're looking to be the ones to break the ice here as we're still scoreless. The top of the 6th inning here. And remember, doubleheader rules apply. As Linder spikes the pickoff throw down to first base, gets away from Wogzinski. And that'll allow Meisner to jog into second base. And all of a sudden, he's in scoring position with nobody away.
Yeah, and it looked like Linder slipped on the mound there as he was throwing over. His plant foot just didn't plant, and that one sailed over into the behind the first base fence.
So for the first time today, Linder is going to have to face some adversity on the mound. Looking to navigate through 4, 5, 6 with a runner on, but a good start to it here. It's skived into right field. Sipe calling for it immediately, and he'll put it away for an uber and crucial out, number 1. So Linder once again going back to his favorite pitch. It was the curveball. Wasn't the greatest of locations, more of a get-me-over pitch, but he beat the barrel of the hitters. He just caught it a little bit too deep, and so instead of ripping it on a line, was able to get under it. Allowed for an unproductive out, number 1. As once again, this one's popped up. Right side of the diamond. Wogzinski camps underneath it. He'll put it in the back pocket. And after a rough start to the inning, on back-to-back pitches, Linder gets a pair of pop-ups to the right side, and all of a sudden, he's 1 out away from getting out of this.
Yeah, great job by Linder coming back, a throwing error after a pretty good piece of hitting to lead off the inning, but good job by Linder to come back, settle down the troops of the defense, and come back and try to put away the 6th inning.
This one lined up the middle off the bat of bat. It'll be fielded by Lashaway in center. They're going to send the runner. We're going to have a play at the plate, but the throw takes Clift up the line, and the runner will score, and he'll move into second base. We finally have our first run of the ball game here in the top of the 6th, courtesy of Cole Bat in the Zips.
Great job by Bat going with that first pitch, sending it right back up the middle, and Lashaway with a strong throw just took Clift up the line a little bit and a little bit out of the play, and then
well, the ball took Lashaway glove side over in center. Would have been tough for him to create that angle because you want to have everything working towards the plate when you make that play, but in order for him to get there, he kind of had to come around the ball in center field. Just took a little bit too sharp of an angle, then that caused the plant foot of Lashaway to step open too much, which opened the shoulder up, and thus the ball ended up trailing up the third base line. This one in the dirt. Nice stop by Dakota Clift. It's going to be Dwayne Brown looking to double the lead for the Zips here as they finally break through. They break the ice, scoring the first run here in the top of the 6th. So Linder works out of the stretch, first base side. Here's the 1-1 to Brown. Breaking ball, line into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit and much more. Bat will score. Dwayne flying around the bases. He's around second, not stopping, heading to third base. The cutoff throw goes to Sipe, and it'll be a 2-out RBI triple for Dwayne Brown.
that's another good piece of hitting, back-to-back hits for the Zips, and then Brown finding the gap and really extending this lead and breaking it open for as the Zips try to split today.
Yeah, we've seen Linder time and time again go to the same pitch, that 12-6 curveball. So he gets a ground out here. Strong throw from Cornett in the dirt, and Wolskinski cannot pick it. It'll be an error against Cornett as the Zips, with 2 outs, put up 3 consecutive runs.
Yeah, 3 consecutive runs on 3 consecutive hits. This is exactly what the Zips needed, and really being able to capitalize on runners being in scoring position.
So bottom of the lineup now will be Adam Manzura. He'll take strike 1. As Linder was so effective throughout this game, even had 2 outs here in the 6th, but after a pair of base knocks, was Dwayne Brown who laced one into the gap, and then an error by Cornett. This one, easier play for Sipe over to Wilczynski, and that will do it for the top of the 6th. But it's a big inning for the Zips. They get 3 runs on 3 hits. Played 5.5. Zips lead at 3-0. You're watching NCBA Baseball here. Welcome back into Nicolay Field, bottom of the 6th inning. Bulldogs looking to respond to the crooked number put up by the Zips in the top half of the inning. It'll be 4, 5, 6. That's Clift, Augusta, and Clement due up against Simon Gilchrist going into his 6th inning of work. First pitch to Clift, fastball misses down and out. Clift gets ahead in the count. Looking to do some damage here leading off the inning. Bulldogs haven't had an extra base hit all game, and only one in this game total as he's going to line this one down the right field line. Brown able to go over and cut it off, but now it's going to get by him. Clift not stopping around second. He's heading for third. Throw comes in, and it will not be in time. Dakota Clift gets the first extra base hit of the Bulldogs here as he goes down the right field line. It'll be a leadoff triple.
And that's a bit of an announcer jinx right there. Talking about how the Zips haven't given up an extra base hit, and then Clift coming in, getting a triple. And we see Tate Wise come in to pinch run for him.
Yeah, just the courtesy runners. Clift is the catcher. So Dakota Clift not out of this ballgame yet. I mean, it's really tough to call that one a triple. It was tough to tell what happened on the right field line as Dwayne Brown got there in plenty of time to cut it off, but maybe it hit something along the fence there that caused it to ricochet past him or, just went under the glove. Again, it was tough to tell.
There's also not a lot of room along the fence line to the foul line there. So, tough to really gauge what happened, but.
So Augusta looking to get the first RBI of the game for the Bulldogs. 2-0 misses just up, according to the home plate umpire. So 3 balls, no strikes. So Zip defense will concede the run for and out in the later innings here. Everyone playing at least even with the bag, maybe farther. 3-0, taking all the way was Augusta as Gilchrist comes in for strike 1. So Gilchrist comes set. Here's the 3-1. One tapped foul behind the plate. Running out of room is Manzor, and he eventually wills and ends up out of play. So all of a sudden, after being behind 3 balls, no strikes, Simon Gilchrist has this thing to a full count and a chance to get a crucial strikeout here and increase his odds of potentially stranding a leadoff triple. 3-2. This one popped up. Straight up behind the plate. It'll be Manzor in foul ground. Overran it. Bulldogs catch a break. As Manzor got a late read on it. By the time he realized where he had to go, just went a little bit too fast and overran the baseball, and it lands in foul territory, and Augusta remains unscathed here.
Yeah, it's another great chance. The second life for Augusta to try to get this runner across and get himself at least a RBI.
Well, you got to imagine the pressure is starting to mount for these Bulldogs. You know, confidence absolutely beaming with this group. We've mentioned it a few times, second in the nation at this level, so they're no stranger to winning baseball games. But Landon Augusta takes strike three called. Breaking ball started up, dropped its way into the zone. So Gilchrist increased his odds of escaping traffic after the strikeout. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Tyler Clement. So defensive positioning for the Zips remains the same. Nobody anywhere near the infield grass. Everyone at least a step or two behind their respective bags. As Clement looks to push across the first run for the Bulldogs. Fastball misses just off the outer edge. Gilchrist not too thrilled about the call there. Kind of saw him shake his head a little bit. He knows how important getting ahead is, especially in situations like this, pitching for the strikeout. This one will be grounded up the middle. The run will score, but throw on to first is in time to retire Clement. So the deficit gets cut down to 2 runs here. Still a lot of work to do after the RBI ground up from Tyler Clement.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity, and not a lot of game time to do it. So you kind of said it last inning with Akron batting, but it's go time for the Bulldogs now.
It'll be the 7-hole hitter, Josh Cornett, takes a first pitch breaking ball, center cut. As he falls behind, no balls, 1 strike. So Gilchrist comes set. Looking to make it through his 6th inning. Ugly swing and a miss from Josh Cornett. Had him way out in front of the bender. The hands were not strong enough to hold back. He's quickly behind 0-2. Just looking to buy himself some more time here. 0-2. Called strike 3. Fastball on the outer edge. Catches Cornett looking. So the Bulldogs push across their first run of the ball game to cut the deficit down to 2. So after 6th, Zips lead it 3-1. You're watching NCBA baseball here in Adrian College. Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning being set to be played. We have a pitching change for the Bulldogs. It'll be Adam Lashaway. Michael, what do you got on him?
Yeah, Lashaway making his third appearance. He has 7 total innings pitched, 1 start, 0-1, but he has a 2.57 ERA.
Yeah, Lashley, one of the few guys that you'll see play. You'll see him pitch, you'll see him catch, and you'll see him play center field. Seldomly will you see that combination as he quickly gets ahead. No balls, 1 strike here.
Yeah, kind of like that do-it-all player that a lot of coaches like to see.
0-1 to Tampot. Misses down low. Is going to even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brady Tampot, center fielder today. We've seen him make a couple nice plays out there. 0 for 3 in the ball game. A couple of groundouts and a flyout. Looking to do some damage here. The 1-1 misses just below the zone. Make it 2 balls, 1 strike. See Clift, the catcher, not too thrilled about that call. I mean, most of the time you see catchers just kind of instantly, as soon as you get it, you're going back to the pitcher, but took an extra second to throw it back, let that call sit a little bit for the umpire. Lashaway works out of the windup, has Tampot in a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. This one tapped foul down the right field line to get out of play. So the count remains 2-2. And Lashaway, not a huge strikeout pitcher. Does have a little bit of velo to him, but not a guy who gets a ton of swing and miss. Has 5 strikeouts in 7 innings, 3 of those being looking, interestingly enough. 2-2, breaking ball misses well down. Clift couldn't get over and block it as it sails away. That's going to load things up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lashaway looking to keep the score exactly where it is at 3-1 in favor of the Zips. So Tampot climbs back in. Lashaway into the motion. The full count pitch, swinging a ground ball right side. It will squeak through for a base hit past the outstretched arm of Sam Sipe. So Brady Tampot gets it started here in the 7th with a leadoff knock.
Another good start to the inning. And this is now back-to-back innings that we've seen the Zips get the leadoff guy on. Like we saw last inning, it led to runs as they look to extend and get some insurance.
First pitch to Ogg, spiked fastball, nice pick by Clift. It'll keep Tampot over at first. Haven't seen any stolen base attempts from the Zips in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Saw one from the Bulldogs as soon as they had a base runner. As the 1-0 swung on and missed. Good fastball there from Lashaway in the outer third. Just a kind of a change in tempo here. You go from, Linder, who, doesn't throw hard by any means, but more of a finesse guy. He'll beat you by his location, not his stuff. Meanwhile, Lashaway doesn't have the most control. You see Cliff setting up down the middle pretty much every single pitch. However, just the stuff takes a little bit of an uptick. A lot more velo on those fastballs and a lot of break on that breaking ball. Just a matter of can he put it over the plate. Here's the 1-2 to Cog. Another spiked fastball and a nice pick by Clift once again. So that is a very important run over on first for the Zips. If you're going down to your last at-bat, down 2 runs, you still have a lot of confidence. You're a bloop and a blast away from tying things up, but going down 3 runs, all of a sudden that tying run is no longer in the on-deck circle, and both physically and psychologically gets a lot more difficult for you to come back in that game.
Yeah, and as we've seen the pitching staff from the Zips today, they've mowed down the Bulldog lineup.
This one's skied in the air, shallow center field. The new center fielder coming in to make the grab. There is one away. Tough to tell who that is from
Looks
this
like
angle.
Tyler Clement.
So the shortstop moves into center field as yes, it is Clement. So the pitcher Linder moves over to shortstop. And the center fielder Lashaway moves to the mound. So no new players in the game, but guys in new spots making impacts as Clement squeezes out number 1. First pitch to Meisner, misses down low. Meisner been the biggest threat in the box for the Zips, especially here in Game 2. 3 for 3 on the day all singles, 2 to left, 1 to center, and scored our first run of the game back at the top of the 6th. Lashaway will try to navigate through him. This one nubbed down the first base line. It's going to roll back fair. Wogzinski picks it up. And an interesting out number 2 here in the top of the 7th.
That one hit off the end of the bat. Clipped the right spike of turf. Came back fair. And then Wogzinski just playing it right. Waiting for it to come back fair and steps on the base and gets the second out.
Yeah, the ball initially drifted about 3 feet foul down the first base line, but I'd say probably around the 70 feet mark to first base, made its way back into fair territory, and about as easy of a play as you can have for a first baseman. Just picked it up, took a step, and put the right foot on the bag. So Lashaway now can pitch around the leadoff hit, but now he falls behind the Zip batter. Bulldog outfield still playing very shallow. Anything to the outfield, they do have a pretty good shot at throwing Tampon out at home. 2-0, foul back to the screen. Count moves to 2 balls, 1 strike now. And we talked about the dugout energy early on in this game, about the 2nd or 3rd inning, but at this point they are in inning 14 of their baseball today, so tough to stay energetic for that long, even with how fast Game 2 has been. It's the 2-1, cut on and missed. Lashley went to the fastball here, and I got to imagine in a 2-2 count he sticks with it. Just hasn't had any command of that breaking ball. We've seen him throw it 58 feet a few times already. Lashley will step off, collect his thoughts as he gets ready for a big 2-2 pitch. Lashaway comes set. Here's the 2-2. Fastball yanked down and away. Misses out. Count moves to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Zip's looking to add insurance. Bulldogs looking to keep it right where it is. They put that pressure on Lashaway. Gets the sign, comes set. Here's the 3-2. This one driven in the air, left center field, and it is going to get past the center fielder, Clement, go all the way to the wall. Tampa is in to score, and cruising into third base is the runner, not nearly in time to get him. It is an insurance run with an exclamation point here in the top of the 7th.
Another great piece of hitting that we saw from the Zips. And we see really no chance for Clement to get to that one. And even the way the Zips defense has been today, with how deep their outfielders have been, I don't think that would have been caught.
It didn't matter who you had in center field there. You could have had the flash in center. I think it still would have beat them. That ball driven about 3 hops to the wall out there in center field, pretty much on a line. Never reached an apex too high. So 1-0 to Luke McClure. Check swing, but yes, he did. Moves the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. So Lashaway looking to limit the damage to 1 run. He'll have to get through Luke McClure to do that, who is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. They line out a fly out and a pop out. So just about every way you can hit a ball into a glove, he's done it today. The only one he hasn't done is a foul tip into the glove for strike 3.
Hopefully you just spoke that into existence if you're the Bulldogs.
Well, that was the goal of me saying that. We've mentioned announcer drinks a few times. I would like to have one go our way for once. 2-1, breaking ball, finally gets one over the plate. It's going to even things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to McClure. Something that's gone unspoken this game is Dakota Cliff has done an excellent job keeping the ball out in front. I've seen Bulldog pitchers throw a handful of pitches, down low in the dirt that, had Cliff let him get away, we could have seen different scenarios with runners on second instead of first, which in a game this tight and so little offense is such a crucial aspect to the game that doesn't show up in any stat sheets and just isn't recognized as much as it should be. So hats off to Dakota Cliff today for not only what he's done in the batter's box, getting on base twice, including that triple back in the 6th, but his work on the defensive end. 2-2, bouncer back to the mound, off the glove of Lashway. It'll be a tough play for Linder. Gloves it, fields it, and throws out McClure. So that's going to do it for the Zip half of the top of the 7th. They get 1 run on 2 hits. We've played 6.5. Last chance for the Bulldogs coming up. They trail by 3. You're watching NCBA.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning. Zips lead it 4-1. They're looking to close this thing out. It's Simon Gilchrist still on the mound for Akron, as they look to even up this 3-game set, as they will be splitting the doubleheader. We will have a rubber match tomorrow. Shall Akron hold on to this 3-run lead? And well, given the Bulldog at bats throughout this one, seems to be a fairly likely scenario, as between innings, head coach Nicholas Christian being very vocal in that third base dugout, just telling his guys have good at bats, because we've seen it so many times. We mentioned it a couple specific moments early on, like the Josh Cornette at bat, transitioning into the Pedro Rivera RB, or just the standard single. Just the quality of at bats there. When you get a good pitch, you want to put a good swing on it. You don't swing just to swing. As Rivera doesn't swing at that one, crosses over the plate, 1 up, 1 down here to start the 7th inning, but you just can't have at-bats like that where, outs are your most valuable resource in baseball. You can't just give them away. So watching strike 3 is never going to make anyone happy, but especially head coaches.
And especially not in your last chance at bat.
This one sky into the air, shallow center field. Tampot coming over. He'll get under it and put the squeeze on it. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th.
Yeah, and we've seen Gilchrist work very efficiently outside that first inning. We were talking about this between innings. He's only at 95 pitches right now through 6 2/3 innings. Great efficiency from Gilchrist.
So it'll be Adam Lashway, last chance for the Bulldogs here. Lashway struggling in the box in this one. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Looking to pass the baton and get that tying run into the on-deck circle for the Dogs. So the count is 2 balls, no strikes. Lashway hunting the fastball here, looking for something to drive. 2-0. Out in front of the fastball as he taps it down third base line. But how about Simon Gilchrist throughout this one? If he finishes this one, it'll be a full 7-inning, technically a complete game for him. It would be 6 hits, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts for him. Lashway looking to make those stats look a little bit worse, at least for now, as the 2-1 breaking ball misses up. Going to move the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. If you're Lashway, this isn't about finding a gap or hitting a homer. This is about simply passing the baton on to the next guy. It's Nathan Linder who waits on deck. He's 2 for 2 in this one. He'll send this one onto the ground to short. McClure fields throw over to Meisner at first, and that is going to do it here. So after dropping game 1, the Akron Zips come back and rally late, putting up 3 runs in the top of the 6th, adding on an insurance in the 7th to take down the Bulldogs 4-1. But it was, again, Simon Gilchrist who really carried this Akron team. Just such a strong pitching performance, holding the number 2 team at the Division III level for NCBA to just 1 run on 6 hits.
Yeah, great job by Gilchrist. And after the performance that the Bulldogs offense put on in the first game, coming back doing this in the second game where the Bulldogs are feeling really good about themselves. Great job to Gilchrist, and hats off to him.
So while the Bulldogs drop this one here, creates a little bit more of an interesting narrative for tomorrow, as we will have a rubber match. First pitch is at 11 a.m. here on Nicolay Field, and well, once again, that will be an ACTV broadcast, and like all ACTV broadcasts, this one was fully student-ran. Keegan Wade, our producer today, of course, Remington Gilniak, Michael Hale. So that is going to do it from us here, from everyone here at ACTV.